Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Is it working? Volume's on. I think Steve Ellen's in the building with you today. So Steve, if you could just let me know that the sound is okay, that would be fabulous. Microsoft account problem. What now? What? Oh, don't do this to me. I'm not going to fiddle with it. I'm just going to be all right. Be all right. It'll all be all right on the night. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Hello from Watford. There we go. Huddersfield. It's good to have your company. Very good to have your company. How are you? Is it warm where you are? It's over 90 degrees here in Caroborough, apparently. But it is in this blooming room, I tell you. That's hot, isn't it? Hey? Sunny. Hot and sunny. Nice. Nice. Let's be grateful. Let's be grateful. It'll be raining soon again. Good morning. Come on in. Grab a seat. It's postcards. That's what we're doing today. I saw some of your shadow shading work on the under the sea work. Oh, wow. You're so good. See, I knew. This morning I woke up and I thought, actually, I wish I'd carried on with the shading because I was enjoying it so much. But then I thought, it's okay. It's okay. Let's get into the garden. That's where I want to go. Good morning, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, all good. And I thought, we'll hang out in the garden because that's where most of us are hanging out. Hands up who's hanging out in the garden. Anybody? Me? Who else is sticking to the garden? I went up to Peterborough yesterday for a big meeting and it was, you know, it was lovely to see everybody at Hochanda. It really was, you know, social distance and all that. But it was a 9-hour round trip, you know, it's a long old day, isn't it? And it was lovely to see everybody at Hochanda. I haven't seen them for months because I haven't been up there for months. So that was cool. And tomorrow we're going to do that live Skype. I'm going to try that out at 1 o'clock and Paul's going to do it again at 5 o'clock. So hopefully that will work well. That will work well. That'll be a solution. That'll be a solution if I can get it sorted as well. So come on in because we're going to do some colouring in today. And I thought, well, I'll wait till 10 o'clock because some people don't get here until bang on 10 o'clock. 2 minutes to. All good. All good. And then we'll have a look at some of the postcards. I've already picked one that I want to do with you for the rest of the week. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I imagine that there won't be many of us today. I reckon it's too hot to do this. I do. So I brought some brightness into our lives. Look at these fantastic sunflowers. Aren't they just gorgeous? Hey? Aren't they beautiful? I know, Jilly brought them at the weekend when she came to visit. They're spectacular, aren't they? What a work of art that is. Maybe we could doodle them one day. It can't be that hard. It's quite a straightforward kind of design, isn't it? Huh? I would say a lot of petals. I drew one of these years ago, years and years and years ago when I started designing stamps back in the 90s. I remember drawing sunflowers. I wonder where the artwork is. I'll have to look in my archives because I don't throw much away when it comes to that stuff. Come on in. Let's have a look. Is it 10 o'clock? Nearly. Nearly. Love the sunflowers. I do too, Thelma. Hey, aren't they a feel-good? Aren't they a feel-good factor? Feel-good factor. Good morning from Cardiff. Hiya. Come on in. Yeah, very, very beautiful. And they symbolise such, well, such happiness, really. They're good luck, for a start. I looked it up. They symbolise good luck. They symbolise honesty. I can see that. They symbolise trust. They also symbolise loyalty. And I thought, I wonder why they symbolise loyalty. I blogged about it last night. And well, apparently it has to do with the fact that when the sun comes up, like the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, right? And apparently the sunflower, it adjusts its gaze and it follows the sun faithfully. And that's why it's called the flower of loyalty. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, because it just moves with the sun. It twists. I never thought about it, but I suppose a lot of flowers do, but this one is glaringly obvious, isn't it? Anyway, come on in. I'm sure that we will we'll have a lovely day today. And I will say one thing. There's a reason for everything. I'll leave it there. There's a good reason for everything. Now, let's have a look at these beautiful postcards again. And the one I want to go to today, are you ready? Is it 10 o'clock? Yes, it is. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Okay. And Steve Allen's in the building with you, so if you have any questions, direct them at Steve. He'll be happy to help you. And I'm just here to keep you company. That's it, you know. And for 1 hour every day, Monday to Friday, regardless of what is going on out there, let's just park it. We're going to come in here, regardless of what's going on out there. Oh, lovely breeze. And we're just going to doodle and keep each other company and improve our colouring skills and just generally hang out together in a safe environment, okay? A safe, friendly, creative environment. That is all I want. That is all I ever wanted, okay? So I think today I'm going to stay in the garden. There's been too much of this down to Brighton Beach and what have you. Not cool. Which one shall I use? Let's go with these one. And so I thought, I know, let's stay in the garden. So have you got your blue postcards? We're going to go with the blue tits. The blue tits in the blue... I think they're in here. Let's have a look. We did that one. Do you remember we did that with the watercolour? That was lovely. Then we got the toucans. See, every other week, for those of you who are new to the fold, every other week we pick. Look, we did the hummingbirds weeks ago, didn't we? So there's the kingfishers. They're pretty cool. We'll have to do them sometime. They're nice. Let's do the blue tits though, this one. So you see the postcards are perforated. So all we need to do is just gently pull them out like that. Piece of cake, isn't it? And what was really encouraging last time we did the postcards, what I really was happy about, was that it really took the watercolour paper, the watercolour world, didn't it? We could saturate it with the pergoliners and watercolour painting, and I was impressed with how well the card took it, weren't you? So I thought we'd do that. Have you got that one out? And then, of course, we're going to need some blues and some yellows and some greens. And I thought today we'd start on the birds, on the tits themselves. And then, when we've done that, we can move into the trees and the blossom. We'll be experts at the blossom by now. And I was actually thinking that we might combine. So we're going to use the B pencils and the polychromos for the birds. And then maybe we could combine a little bit of watercolour, you know, for the background, so we could get the sky, because the sky came out really lovely last time, I thought, the summer sky with the watercolour. So who says we can't mix and match them, eh? Should we try that? I think so. I think that'd be great. God, it's hot in here. Right, come on then. And I think probably what I want to do is, let's just get our... Let's get our postcards. See, what I did was, I got this book. And this book is brilliant. Look, British birds. It's in the kitchen. And we sit there because we feed the birds. And so we get loads of birds in the garden. Blue tits, loads of them on the feeders. Great tits, we get them. We get the cold tits. Crested tits, I haven't seen many crested tits around here. We get loads of nuthatches, you see. Tree creepers we get jays and magpies. We've got loads of magpies. Yeah, we get jackdaws. I know that in the roof. So I thought, let's go to we get long-tailed tits as well when they come in. There was something on the news today. Apparently, they've made this big discovery about long-tailed tits. They're like lollipop birds, aren't they? But I thought, let's go to the blue tits. If you're looking for a good, this is a great RSPB, Royal Society of Protection to Birds. This is a beautiful book, and it's great for identifying where they are, where, you know, etc. All right, that's what we're going to go with. So the female and the male don't look that dissimilar, do they? Hey, he just looks a little bit moodier. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This postcard was created with a combination. The birds are from Melanie, and the cherry blossom, the birds in the trees in the background, they're my artwork. So it's a team effort, this one. And Lisa, lovely Lisa at work, she was the one that compiled it for us. So there you go, you see, teamwork does make the dream work. Let's get in a little bit tighter, being careful not to disturb those beautiful sunflowers from Chile. Right, let's have a look. Okay. Can you see that? I think that's a good distance. That's a goodly distance, isn't it? And what we're going to do then is start, I think, by looking at the pencils or which we're going to use. So I had a little look this morning, and I thought, because we're going to do this together, I'm really, like, at the moment, I'm up against it at work. And so I haven't had time to prepare this. But I have prepared in as much as, I haven't got a finished sample. But that doesn't matter, we'll do it together. Hey, be nice. I quite like that, because I'm discovering with you. I've got the tips and tricks, but I thought, this is what we're going to do. We need a white one. Whether you're using the big polychromos tin, right? You can use any colouring pencils, anything you got in the cupboard. We can use the polychromos if you treated yourself. The pergoliners, I'd stick with the, well, you do any pencils you like, but there's some really good blues up this end. B16, the pergoliners, B4, they're a good combination. And what we're going to try and do is combine two of the same family of blue. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, we take this one and that one, and you'll see, there you go, it's obvious. They're the same family blue, they have the same tone, right? This is light phthalo blue and this is phthalo blue. So they will blend nicely and they go together. How does she know that? Because she tested it out on a bit of paper, see? So I know. But then, of course, there's another blue. So in the pergoliner set, there is a sort of more of a turquoisey blue like this as well. They're the same kind of family. But then also in the polychromos, you got ultramarine, and you got the light one and then standard. Right. So, and I looked at these and I deliberated and I thought, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Do you do the blue tits with the turquoisey blue, or do you do the turquoise with the more purpley blue? I know. And so I actually went with this one. And then I was reading up on these, right? And it said, cap ultramarine blue. I thought, okay, I'm going to go with the experts. If he says it's ultramarine, it's ultramarine. And so I went back to plan B. Okay. Then when I looked at it, I thought, actually, they're right. It isn't that turquoise. But do you know what? Use what you've got. Use what you've got. It doesn't matter. You can make them pink and purple if you prefer. It's really fine. Okay. Do whatever colour works for you and what gives you pleasure. Okay. This isn't a bird watchers. You know, we're not a bird watcher society here. We're just a bunch of birds doodling. Okay. Oh, and then maybe a couple of guys mixed in here too. Come on then. Let's get started. And what I'd like to do though, let's start on the caps. The caps being the heads. Let's get started on the heads. And we will establish our colours. So I'm going with these two. I'm going to lose those two. I don't need those. I just wanted to show you that that's the key. And then you want the white one. See, and then I've got all the greens and the yellows. I've got all them out as well, and a couple of greys and a black. You need a black. Now, when I was looking at the bird, I thought, okay, so I do know, because I stare at these birds all the time. I just do, because they're in the garden right by the kitchen window. But what I noticed was, when you look at the birds, if I coloured this all in black, that would be a bit extreme. So I was looking at it, kind of working it through to the end, and I thought, well, this isn't really all black. This is blue, this is white, but they've usually got more white around here. So I went back to my clever little book, and believe it or not, I was right. Look, you see? See the stripe? There's a black stripe through there, because that's what I thought. I bet, look, the great tit, he's got a black head, so there is a lot of blackness in that one. The coal tit, the clue's in the name, he's blacker than black, right? But I thought, look, the marsh tit and the willow tit, they definitely got black heads. But I thought, no, we can change this, and we can change this before we begin. So, grab your pencil, a pencil, HB, anything you like, and what we're going to do, see if this is black, pretend this is black, we're just coming off the back of a colouring, off a doodling session. Right, so now, this is white, this bit, and we've thinned out, see? So it's going to go like that, and then this is black here. Let's call that bit black. So at the front here, this is going to come around the eye, like that. This is the black bit now. And then I'm going to give it quite a lot of white, that one, because I don't want a big black blob right in the front of the card. And then this one, God, it's so hot. I am absolutely drenched here. Do you think I'll lose weight if I sweat like that? Right, so then we'll come in here. Let's do all of them while we're on it. What we're doing is reducing the amount of black around the eye. So that's that, that's that. So this is all going to be black. Got it? Let's have a look at this one. So he's got a big cap, this one, but I reckon we could still put a bit of white along there. So there's black, like that. There you go. So we've added the line art before. See? Let's have a look. Let it just sharpen. There we are. So you see we've added lines. And that's the thing about these postcards, you know, they're brilliant for Zentangle and doodling as well. If you just wanted to put patterns in their backs and take a pencil and ink and not worry about colour, they work beautifully like that as well. And I'll tell you another thing, they also work really nicely if you only concentrate on the background. So if you left this white, like black and white, and did some shading like we did yesterday, and then just put a landscape, just concentrated only on the sky. That's what I mean. It's quite amazing, especially with this one, because of all this here. Really cool. In fact, if I had more time, I'd give that a go. Right, can you hear me all right? Are we ready to rock and roll? I know, it always takes a little bit of a starter, isn't it? Starting place. Let's get going. Right, trick. We did this ages ago. When you take the white one, sharpen the white one. Let's get a good nib on the white one. Pergoliners got white. Polychromos got white. We've got the Pergamano white is a brilliant white. You know, we sell them like that loose. We sell all the Pergamano pencils individually, you know. But this white one here, the Pergamano one, it's really, really good. It's better than the average white. That's what I mean. Right. So what we're going to do now is do the cap, where we're going to do the blue in a minute. But what I want to do is just take the white. I'll do it on the black here so you can see it. And what I'm going to do is put little flecks in like that. Do you see? So I'm going to do it on the cap. And then when I go over it with white, you can't see it. It's like a magic trick, really. We're just going to put some little feathers in with a sharp white pencil. Let's just do that. So that's going to be blue in a minute, you see? So that's why we're just doing the caps at the moment. Let's just do the caps. Do the same thing on all the caps. Let's get all the white in. Little feathery strokes like that. That'll be nice. Okay. Good. Just the caps. Caps on the blue tits. Be good. Blue tits. We had them nesting this spring. We always have loads of them in the garden. They go in the ginkgo tree. We've got a ginkgo, really nice, and they sit in the ginkgo tree right where we sit underneath. And they're quite friendly little birds, really. And the young ones, it's quite comical when you see them, you know, and they're fledglings and they're just and they're finding their wings, as we say, you know. It's great, isn't it? So back to the top again, and this time what we'll do, where we put the white down, now what we're going to do is take the lighter of the two blues and we're going to go over again like that, right, just in the same direction, doing exactly the same thing. I'm doing it on the black so you can see it. See, so all you're going to do now is that. Right, starting above his beak, and then as you do this, what you'll see is the white will start to come through. It's like a resist technique, isn't it? But it looks really feathery, see? Because the white's creating a block. Isn't that clever? There you go. There's that head sorted. This won't take too long, I don't think, do you? Right, in we go. That was the light ultramarine. You know what I need, apart from a cold shower? I just need this. Because my hands are so wet, you shouldn't do it anyway, but I was going to go and flick it, but I think I'd stick to the paper. Bloody hell. Right, so now next one, let's do this one. Working our way down, only because I'm shreddy. Right, so we do the same again. Just, and relax, hey? So a good little resist technique, nice. And then we'll do the next one. It's all right. Right. Are you drinking lots of water? God, it's so hot in the night, isn't it? And I got eaten alive last night. I don't usually get bitten by a moggy or by, you know, something. I really did get it all over, blinking thing, and it itches, doesn't it? Oh, I'm beginning to prefer the winter. There you go. So we've got kind of a feathery effect, haven't we? It's just laying down the background. So that's the first thing we want to do. Now let's go up again, and this time we'll just do the caps, because the caps are going to set the scene for the rest of the bird. So now we're going to go in with the darker one, but this time real sharp. So let's make a chisel. Let's make a chisel, that's a good idea. Because then when we turn it, it's real sharp, isn't it? That's the best way to do it. Right, so in we go again, and this time, again, layer over the top. We'll just add, oh, whose glasses have I got on here? Can't see a thing. Right, here we go. So a little bit of depth around there. So we're going to get some shading going now, aren't we? But I reckon that this colour is probably right. Hey? What colour have you gone for? Whatever you've got, I guess, eh? That's the way to do it as well. Right, that's looking good. That's looking very good. I like this because you can see the... Let me come in a bit closer. Can you hear the birds twittering in the garden? Let me see if I can come in a bit closer. That's better. Let's have a look then. Right, that's better, isn't it? You can see now. So you see the dark one. What I love about this technique with the white resist pencil is that it doesn't matter how, you don't eliminate the white texture. See, it's good. Even if you go over with darker colours, it still stays. And you know, you can go back with the white and go again. If you felt the need to, you could go in and lighten it, because white will always lighten. Yeah? So just ping backwards and forwards. Right, there you go. Just get the old cap in. Nice. Next cap. See the difference? Okay. So, am I using the darker one? Yeah. Right, so darker one next. And once we've done the cap, we'll be off and running. Right, that looks good. Cap's in. So I looked up blue tits as well, because I thought, I wonder what they would symbolise. I just decided to do the blue tits last week. I thought that would be a really lovely little, with all the migration to the beaches and that, and the levels of anxiety that a lot of us are experiencing as a direct result of that. I thought, well, I think we need to stick in the garden, really. Those of us who are lucky enough to have gardens, and a lot of us do have a garden here in England, don't we? So I thought, well, that'd be handy. If we can focus on the garden, focus on the sunflowers now, focus on what we've got in our backyards. That's what we're going to try and do this week, you know. Let's just get grateful for what we've got and enjoy it. Make the most of it, eh? That's what I think. Right, a bit of white, a bit of blue. Right, and we can always come back and darken it up if we want to, can't we? But let's just get these caps in, because this was what this is doing. Is it's getting our eye in. So we're looking now. Heat! We're looking at the birds. We're studying the detail on the bird. See, that's another thing. It's like a distraction. If you focus on the detail like we are at the moment, like on every little feather, then again, you're not thinking about anything else, are you? You're just thinking about the blue tits. Right, that looks quite good. I went over the edge a bit, but I don't care. But no one's going to notice that, are they? Okay, so now we've got that going, I reckon. Bit of blue coming in here. Right, caps a go, go. Nice. So we've got our caps ready. Quick drink of cold water or tea. What are you drinking at the moment? What are you on? Hey? Is it hot where you are, or is it just here in the SHAC? Hey? What's going on? It's mad, isn't it? It's all right though. It's all right. It's fine. It's not Beirut, it's Crowborough. Do you know what I mean? It's hot. It's not a fire. It's just sunny. Sunflowers. Happy. Joyous. And free. Oh, and free. Nearly went. Poof. Happy, joyous and free. You know? It's all about today. It's all about today. Tomorrow, we'll deal with tomorrow. You up for it? And on to the blue tits breasts. Hang on, let me get me Dame Edna's on. It keeps sliding down my nose. Look, sexy. Right, yellow. Let's have a little look at the yellow. I've got loads of yellows going on here. It's definitely, when you look at the blue tits, they're definitely not an orangey colour, are they? Do you know what I mean? They're definitely a cadmium, like a lemony, zesty. If you compare, let's look at the yellow of the sunflower. See, that's a different sort of yellow. It's quite an orange, isn't it? In fact, it looks more orange here than it does in the screen, if you know what I mean. It's quite the colour match isn't quite there. They're not as yellow as that, they're orangier. But these are quite lemony, aren't they? They're quite zesty, almost verging on green, greeny yellow. Yeah? So, where I went, if you go in the Pergamano, they're perfect. They're exactly the right colour. There they are, that yellow, B8. It is a cadmium, I'd call it. What have I got here? Cadmium. There we go. So I've got a cadmium, light cadmium. Ah, well, surprise. I've got cadmium, yellow, lemon, even better. Is that one of the ones in the box, the tin of 60 that we sell? Or has it migrated into my collection from a bigger collection? Tell you what, hang on, there is a landing. One thing I have got a lot of, it's colouring pencils. It's because I enjoy doing it. Right, I'm going for, I think I'll start with a light one, only cause, play it safe. I wonder if, we won't worry about the white on this because you won't be able to see it. Let's do the breasts, because let's check out the experts, what the experts say. Right, the yellow bit is this bit here. That's the only yellow bit on this birdie, right? It's the chest, it's the breast, yeah? Because the bird in flight, he's very green on the back. He's certainly not bright yellow. So I find this interesting to study, that it's in the detail, and in that detail lies the distraction. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our yellow. Which one am I on? I'm on a light yellow. Right, and I'm just going to add a layer of light yellow. There you go. Just let's get the colour in. Going all the way over the top there, like that. I haven't decided yet which bit's what. That's a wing. We won't worry about the wing. Let's just do the chest. The breast. Are we cool with this? Are you enjoying this all right? I do hope so. Right, there you go. So we'll get a nice undercoat. Let's call it an undercoat, shall we? Next undercoat, around here, isn't he? This bit. Let's do this. He's got little socks on, this one. Right, there we go. Get the undercoat. Just on his chest. Nice. Do you get these in your garden too? Blue tits. Do you? Do you get blue tits in your garden? So what we're going to do, even though the back's going to be green, we're going to put down a coat of yellow, only because we're going to change the colour by toning it down. So we'll do a bit of, what's the tail like then? Tail's definitely blue. Right, so let's do the backs. Let's do this bit. It won't take long to do these. Right, let's put down just a light layer of yellow, cadmium. Yeah, I want to get I'm going to get a chisel going, because then, especially on the larger one like this. Here we go. So just light on this with the chisel, just a light undercoat like that. That will work well. Yeah, that's cool. That'll do. Just going to go over it with the green. That'll change it. And this one too. Yeah, so I looked up blue tits, as in the symbolic referencing, you know, what does a blue tits symbolise? And it symbolises happiness. So that's cool, isn't it? It's associated with happiness. See, in spirit world, or in Native American Indian, for example, and I'm sure in other cultures, bluebirds carry messages of happiness from the spirit world. So that means when you see blue tits in the garden, or bluebirds, any bluebirds, right? They are messengers. And when you think about that, when you're sitting in your garden drinking your cup of tea, watching the blue tits, and you think that they are messengers from the spirit world, that really feels good. It feels really good if you believe in that kind of thing. It's certainly. I find that very calming. There you go. That's the word. Calming. There. So we've got our undercoat now. We've got our undercoat. Yeah? You cool with that? So there's going to be a lot more going on there. Let's have a look, because I think he needs a little bit. I think we've missed a little bit of yellow in there. Right. I'm just using, it's about kind of so that you see where you're going with this, isn't it? There's a lot of that going on here. Right. So let's just get the basic colours down. I'm thinking these bits here, the wings, they're definitely going to be blue again. Okay, so we're going to go in with a very light coat of blue on the wings. So let's just, I'm going with the lighter blue, the lighter of the two blues. But what I want to do is just bring in a real light layer of blue. Let's just establish the colours first. And we're establishing it in a non-committal way. So in other words, we could add a layer of yellow to this, or we could add a layer of green to this. We haven't decided yet. It depends where the sun's hitting the birds as well. Can you hear them chipping away in the garden? They must know it's portrait day. They think, come and draw me. Would you ever do that? Would you ever sit in the garden and draw your garden? How would you feel about doing that? You know, like when we do our doodles. I'm doing every other one at the moment because I'm not sure where I'm going. This is the disadvantage of not preparing. But it's okay, you know. Because the colouring postcards are like, they're like safety nets, really. It's already there for you. I couldn't wing this on a do you get it? I couldn't wing it on a doodle. I have to know where we're going on a doodle. But my thoughts are, I can certainly colour in a blue tit. Famous last words. Just gently. It's all about layers and pressure, isn't it? Just don't worry about, it's the larger part of the feather we're doing at the moment. Just do the larger part. Like that. How are we doing for time? Hey, see, we've got loads of time. Loads of time. Do every other one. And then we can decide afterwards what we're going to do. That's it. It's easier to find down here than up there, I find. Cool, look. Let's get that layer in, shall we? Yeah, I think staying in the garden's a good idea. Well, I think it really is a good idea. I'm not just not metaphorically speaking, I'm not just talking about now, colouring in the birds. But since we've been staring at these blue, I don't know about you, but we've been staring at these for months now, haven't we? They've been in the garden, we see them twittering around. So why don't we pay them some homage, eh? A little bit of blue, these little flight feathers. So we can get some really good shading going in a minute. But first of all, let's get the blues in. You know, it's going to be so pretty. When we cut across here, that's what we're going to do, you see. And then we'll bring the shade in. But at the moment, I just want to get the colour down. I just want to make sure that we know what bit's blue, what bit's a tree, what bit's a leaf, what bit's, you know. We've got this in stamp set. Oh, it's so lovely. the garden. I think they're called garden birds. Only because you're not allowed to say tits on telly. You're not allowed to say tits on telly. So, we weren't allowed, this was back in the day, we weren't allowed to say blue tits or any kind of tits on telly. So we had to call them the garden bird collection. Whatever. There you go. Now you know the rest of the story. And yes, of course they're garden birds. But look, I didn't make it up, did I? You know what I mean? I mean, who sat in the garden one day and said, "You all those little birds, I'm going to call them all tits." They don't look like tits really, do they? Well, it depends. But somebody sat down once. Don't you sometimes wonder about language like that? Somebody sat down and said, "I'm going to call those birds tits." Why? Where's the association? I don't know. Right, nice light blue. Are you leaning on a bit of copy paper too because of the heat? I've got so much work on as well. My little list of things to do is getting longer and longer and longer. But there you go. It's all in a day. It's all in a day. There's nothing that crushing or pressing that it can't just wait until I get to it, you know? That's it. That's all there is to it. Eh? No point in worrying about it. I mean, I'm a bit apprehensive about this Skype, that works. There's always a lot riding on a TV show. But the thing is, it's no different to what we're doing here, really, is it? Except it's a little bit more interactive with the presenter. I think I've got Paula. I love Paula. Yeah, so if you get a chance to watch, 1 o'clock, Hochanda. What am I doing? Let me think. Oh yeah, beautiful hearts. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. They were a heart sampler. They were a Groovy Plate, designed by Linda Williams. Really lovely Groovy Plate. In fact, I'm going to do a Groovy demo as well. I've prepped it all. It's really beautiful. So easy. If you say you're a beginner and you've been toying with the idea of beginning parchment art because you like it, but you're not sure where to begin. Well, I tell you what, if you all you need is a starter kit and this heart sampler, it's so lovely. I've got to show you now. Hang on. Fortunately, I'm not attached to the table, so I can show it to you. This is it. This is what Linda designed. Right, you ready? This is so pretty. Oh, giving all my tricks away. Right, so this is the heart sampler. Look at this. It's got loads of hearts all over it. We're too close for you to be able to see it. So let's have a look over this side. Right, I've got to show you this. So this is the Groovy Plate. Okay, so you can see all the different hearts, look. Right? Really great. So on this side, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, they're etched, they're engraved into the... So you've got all these beautiful potential pieces of artwork, haven't you? So what I'm going to show you tomorrow, see this one here, and I've been doing it for a few years now, so I know how it works. But my thing is I don't have a lot of time. But now we're during lockdown, this may be something that you might consider. So have a look, see this one, look. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to create that beautiful little piece of artwork from that plate there. That's cool, isn't it? I mean, it's so simple. And I just think that this just looks so pretty and it's so achievable. It's so achievable. So going back to what I was saying about being a beginner, because it's difficult to know where to begin, isn't it? When you're starting out with something like that, when you start turning the telly on halfway through a film, isn't it? You think, well, I don't know, it all looks so sophisticated and so elaborate. You think, my goodness, where do I begin? You know, but actually, starter kit and that heart sampler, boom, because the starter kit's got all the tools that you need. You know, and you're going to buy parchment, you're going to do, but you've got the start, you've got the basis. So I think that's really quite a great place for somebody who wants to start out, you know. Really good, really good. And it didn't take me long to do that either, you know. And the cutting out bit, well, you know, I have to know how to do that because I do it on television, so of course I do. But it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And we're going to do some snip-alongs on Skype anyway, aren't we? I've been talking to Linda and Glynis, and they're all right up for it. So that's going to be really fun when we all get together and do that. Because I believe that this is not going away, this lockdown. You know, it's not going away anytime soon. So we might as well use the time to learn something, to add another what shall I say? Another skill or another talent, you know? Develop what we already have. Like now, what we've been doing, this has got to be week 17 or something now, isn't it? Right, so now let's have a look. We neglected these two. These two have got the wings open, so we know that that's blue. This is going to be blue here. So let's just pop some blue in here. I'm using the light blue, the lighter of the two blues, just to get the colour in, so I know where we're going. Because in a minute, when we do the shading, it's going to look magnificent. So I've decided I'm going to sell my motorbike and buy a kiln. Yep. That makes sense, doesn't it? I'm never going to get on my motorbike again. It's just cluttering up the garage. And I need the space. I need the space for the pottery stuff. So I thought, win-win. Get rid of the motorbike and replace it with a kiln. Boom. That's not a daft idea, is it? And I want to get it, I've got this feeling that I want to get it in the garage. I keep badgering Dave, I need a kiln, I need a kiln, I need a wheel, I need a kiln, because I've got a feeling that in a minute we're going to be on lockdown again. And then we won't be able to go to pottery anymore. We won't be able to do those things, because you can't do pottery online like you can what we're doing. See, we're all right, the SHAC. Happy days. That's never going to be an issue, is it? That's never going to be an issue. But with pottery, if you can't go to the pottery studio, if you can't go to classes, you're stumped. You're stumped. And I felt like, because I like it so much, I enjoy it so much. When the lockdown happened and all the classes were cancelled and that, I thought, that wonderful hobby was no longer available, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not moaning about it, but I did feel, well, there's a solution, isn't there? If I've got a big garage, there's a solution. So how are we doing here? Is it working? It's going to look so good when it's done. Right, I'm avoiding the faces because the faces, I think we need to get the colour in first. So I've done the light blue, yeah? Now let's go to this one, the darker blue. Let's concentrate on those wings a little bit now, right? Let's concentrate on the wings. So where we've been, we're going to go back again over the wings, right? And then we're going to add some shade. Right, here we go. So the shade's going to be at the tip. Get the tip in, just with a darker blue, exactly where we've just been. That's what I want to do. Just get the tip in like that. Don't worry, we're going to add another colour over the top, but for the moment, let's just get some shading going. Exactly where we want it. Really light feathery stroke. So you've only got one blue pen. If you've only got one blue pencil, then just use one blue pencil. Just go over the same area again, and it will get darker automatically anyway, won't it? Right, light feathery strokes. It's coming in off the edge now. Right. One of the best things about the stamp set, the garden bird collection that I'm talking about, the blue tit set, one of the best things about it is that there's a mask. So when you stamp the bird, you can cover up the outside, and so you can sweep the ink in off the mask, and it's so cool. If any of you have done that, you'll know exactly what I mean. It just is, you get a beautiful blends. It just happens automatically, doesn't it? It's really super. What glasses have I got on here? Oh, it doesn't get stronger than the Dame Edna's, really. It's going to look good. Okay. Needed it to be a little bit sharper to get into those tiny edges there. That's better. There we go. Right, so let's get in on these wings here. We're going over exactly the same area we went, but this time we want to put a bit of shadow in, don't we? So it's in the base, in the bottom, and then up where that light bit is. See where the white area is? So we come in like so, and we're just going to come up there like that, layers. Up there, and then a little bit of blue. There, now we're getting there. Okay, so we're just sticking to the blue, just doing it with a darker colour or same colour, just another layer. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's get in there. Little circular motions if you want to get a nice, that's it. And then when you just flip the pen, and then you can get in really close, can't you? How's that? Can you see this all right? Yeah, I think you can, can't you? My head's not in the way, is it? I'm leaning over. So just get a base in, just little circular motions like that. Right, and then turn the pen so it's sharper. So flip the pencil. There we go. Nice. It's all right, sound's still working, it's just me zoning out completely. Because it's a zone job, isn't it? This, isn't it? Let's have a look where we're going. Oh yeah, this is going to look so good when it's done. Look, you see? So we're getting that shade in on that side. We're leaving it light here. Right, let's just keep going. There's no rush, is there? So now we've got these tail feathers. Sorry, these are not tail feathers. These feathers here. There's two sides to the feather, you see, but we're just going in one side and the depth, just to catch the depth. That's it. Okay. That's it. Not that talkative today, sorry. I got a lot on my mind at the moment, and it's that overload, isn't it? And also, if I haven't got anything sensible to say, then I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. That's the truth of it. Hey, silence is golden sometimes. isn't it? Certainly is. Silence is golden. There we are. Nice, eh? Okay. Just keep doing this side. And what I want you to do, right, because we're coming, crikey, can you believe we've been doing this for nearly an hour? What I'd like you to do is not do anything to the birds, except see what we're doing on this wing, right? You could do a little bit more on this one, but don't do the white bit. Just continue doing this. So if I'm gonna give you any homework, it will be just to add some more blueness to the tips here, yeah. But don't do the white bits because I want to show you a trick. But we've got to do all this before we can do that bit. Okay. We're going to do the trick tomorrow. So we're not there yet. There you go. Just nice. Nice colours, aren't they? Really. Thing is, over the months now, your colouring skills have really developed. You know, those of you that have been in the SHAC with me for the duration on lockdown, your colouring skills are really second to none. You know, you've really nailed it now. See how lovely that looks? Right, and then it's just this one here, isn't it? So we're going to just finish this off. And then tomorrow we'll add the finishing touches to the wings and we'll sort out the yellow. And then by tomorrow we should have done the birds, which is great. So tomorrow's Wednesday, so that will work really well. So tomorrow we will have finished the birds for sure. And then Thursday we'll do, yeah, that's going to work brilliantly. So then on Thursday we'll do the blossoms and the feeder. And then on Friday we're going to go into the background like we usually do. How does that sound? And my hope is that it cools down a little bit for us. Hey? My hope is that it cools down a little bit for us. Yeah. Definitely. So I tell you what, on Clarity Worldwide or on Groovy Worldwide, because these blue tits, garden birds, that garden bird set, that's also, I'm pretty certain, I do know, we've got little baby plates, haven't we? Little groovy baby plates of these ones as well. If you've done any artwork with the baby plates or with the stamps, we would love you to put your artwork on Clarity Worldwide or post it. Clarity Worldwide or Groovy Worldwide, yeah? Because that will give the rest of us who are colouring in here, give us some ideas. It will give us some ideas for colour and just some inspiration, really. We're going to get in the garden zone. That's all I want to do, is get in the garden zone. Let's enjoy the garden. Let's enjoy our garden. In an English country garden. I mean, I know we're lucky that we're, you know, I'm very, very, very lucky that I've got a nice English country garden, obviously. But a lot of us have, haven't we? It's what England's well known for. We get a lot of rain, so we get a lot of nice flowers. It's quite straightforward, really, isn't it? This is going to look so nice when it's done. Hey? It's going to look so nice when it's done. I've missed this one. Hang on, light blue first. This one here is key. That tail feather. That's it, and then the darker one up the spine. That'll do. Oh, I'm always tempted to run my finger over it. Not so good. Right, so the undercoat is pretty much there, isn't it? Hey? I think so. The undercoat is pretty much there. We're just missing, there's a couple of light one. The tail feathers. Just get a little bit of blue going in there. And then this afternoon, if you do get to sit in the garden in the shade and you're watching the blue tits, just say to yourself, humour me when I tell you this. Just say to yourself, they're from the spirit world, those little birds, and they've come to bring me a message. And the message is going to be of happiness and good health and serenity. Happiness, good health, serenity, trust, loyalty. You know, blue is a very calming colour. But let's think of all those good words. Let's just think of all those good words. Loyalty, wisdom, truth, sincerity. And these little birds that are fluttering around in your garden, they're sprinkling all that goodness all over you. And if you believe it, and if you feel it, then you'll become it, you see? And maybe I'm talking a load of rubbish, but sometimes, I mean, it's a fact that blue as a colour is a calming colour. That's a fact. So let's take it to the next level and use the blue in the birds, to calm us down a little bit more. Hey? Who's to say we're not allowed? Why can't we? Why can't we do that? That'll do. That'll do. It's not a race. It's not a race. And when you sit in the garden, it'll be like when we did the woodlands. Somebody was saying you walk differently through the woods because you start to watch. You're looking, you're observing the ferns and the leaves, and you know, you start to study because you're drawing it. And it's the same thing now. When you sit and you watch the little birds on the feeders, now you'll be pulling your chair up a little bit closer. You want to have a better look, like what colour is this area, and what colour, and when they fly, what colour's the green on the back, and so on and so on. You see, and so what we're doing is we're opening our eyes. We're opening our eyes, and we're becoming more observant. I think that's the word, observant. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you, Steve. Thanks ever so much for your help. I'm going to go and have a cold drink, and I'm going to sit in the shade and I'm going to observe the blue tits in our garden. And tomorrow morning we'll put the next layer of colour down on the birds. So I shall see you tomorrow at 10. Lots of love to you. Stay safe. Drink loads of cold water. Well, drink loads of water. Okay. And I'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.